Hey YouTube, how you guys doing today? My beard is gray and my name is Trey. In today's episode of the AWS Cloud Quest series, Solutions Architect Role, right, we will be discussing the topic of resource monitoring and how are we going to monitor our resources in AWS. We will be using a service called Amazon Cloudwatch. Now, what exactly is Amazon Cloudwatch, right? So let's go over here to the official documentation and let's take a look. It states, right? Amazon CloudWatch monitors your AWS Web Services resources and the applications you run on AWS in real time. You can use CloudWatch to collect and track metrics, which are variables you can measure for your resources and applications. Now, I know some of you out there might be asking, Trey, what in the HE double hockey sticks does this paragraph say? Well, allow me to explain. So basically, right, when you talk about CloudWatch, right, you can use CloudWatch in several different ways. So we'll start with this one, right? With the documentation states when it talks about your application. You can use CloudWatch to set an alarm, right? So if you have an application that's up and running, you can use CloudWatch to set an alarm to let you know if that application fails, something goes wrong with that, right? That can be very helpful, especially if you're in a production type environment where your site must be up and running at all times, right? You can also use it like, let's say you have a site and you're expecting exponential growth, right? What you can do is you can set an alarm to where, like, let's say you have a certain threshold, right? You're receiving a lot of traffic, and once you receive so much traffic, it trips an alarm. And if, like, let's say you're using 3 or 4 web servers to launch this site, right? It will expand it out to now where you can use 7 or 8 if that's what your traffic needs. And once your traffic goes back down, you have an alarm that can bring it back down to size, right? This is just a way that major, like, large companies use to like save money and resources. And then when you speak about billing, right, you can also use it to set an alarm for billing. So let's say that your monthly budget is $1,000, right? You can set an alarm and say, hey, whenever this budget threshold reaches 70%, right, I want it to send me an alarm and let me know. So let's say that today is the 19th of September, right? And you get an alarm. It says, hey, you've already spent $700 of your monthly budget of $1,000, right? So now I know you can get with your development team, your system administrators or whatever, and you can try to make tweaks and adjustments in order for you to meet that monthly budget goal. So CloudWatch is a very powerful tool. Now that you know what we're doing today, let's go ahead and get started. So if you can all do me a huge favor, go ahead and click like on the video, subscribe to the channel so you will not miss any content, right, that is related to AWS for beginners, right? And share with somebody if you know that they're trying to start a career in cloud computing as well. All right, so now we're meeting with our customer because that's what we do as cloud engineers, right? We solve problems on behalf of the customer, right? So let's talk and let's engage with our customer here. It says, hi, I'm the project manager here. I've been tasked on working on the reliability of our power plant. Thank you for taking this call. I'm happy to help. What seems to be the problem? We run many of our resources in the cloud, and when the system fails, it can cause power outages all over the city. How do you determine the cause of these failures? Do you have engineers who are responsible for monitoring these systems? Yes, we monitor everything, but we don't always notice when something fails right away, so customers can go hours without electricity. That must be very stressful. We can create Amazon CloudWatch alarms to notify you when a particular threshold has been crossed. And our engineers will monitor the alarms. The alarms can notify the engineers when the alarm is invoked. We can also create a custom dashboard to centralize key metric views. That sounds perfect. We need to automatically monitor resource consumption and view centralized dashboards. Will you help us keep the power flowing in the city? I accept. We accept. Let's go. It's us, nosotros. Thanks. Let's get started on monitoring our environment. All right, so now we are going to our solutions diagram, right? So if this is the first video that you've seen in this series, right, I encourage you to go back and watch my Certified Cloud Practitioner playlist, and watch the rest of this video in the playlist so you can earn your AWS badge, right, that you can put on LinkedIn and says that, hey, I have somewhat familiarization with the cloud, right? Now, let me just familiarize you with this page right quick. This is our solutions diagram. Now, if you don't know anything about Cloudwatch per se, right, you can always go click on this button right here and it will give you a brief high-level overview of the actual service that we're working with for this lab, right? And then here you have the solutions diagram. So I've kind of already told you about what we're doing, so I'm just going to kind of skip through this diagram. This is just a certain different parts of what's going on, right? So you have the CPU usage. These are the alarms that you're creating, the memory that's used, right? These are the alarms that you can create to trigger, right, and let your engineers know when you need to adjust something or if something's failed, right? Just a brief flow chart, right? So you have the server that's collecting the metrics, right? Then you have like CPU usage is idle. That means you're not using a lot of CPU. You're kind of wasting money, right? So then you have the alarm for CPU utilization, right? Let's say that it is less than 80%, right? It goes email notification and then it sends it to you so you can make the adjustments, right? So that's how you follow this flow chart, okay? So I'll just go ahead and skip through this, right? And then we'll go straight to our plan. Okay, now our practice lab goals for today, right, is to investigate default monitoring of Amazon EC2 instances, create an Amazon Cloudwatch dashboard and add a widget, right, create a Cloudwatch alarm for CPU utilization, and then create a Cloudwatch action to send an email notification by using Amazon SNS, right, which is simple notification service. It's like really like a text message. Like just imagine, right, like how you receive those emails. Like let's say someone on YouTube just released a video. You might receive an email, right, stating someone just released a video. That's an example of what the simple notification service is, right, just in the layman's terms. Now, this is what we're going to be doing for our practice lab goal. It's going to be step-by-step guided learning. They're going to give us every step of the process. Then at the end, right, you have a DIY section, which means do it yourself, right, and build on what you've learned. So then we're going to add a Cloudwatch dashboard for memory utilization, right, and it's going to be named mem_used. Create a Cloudwatch alarm for memory utilization, mem_used over 500 million, looks like. Add an Amazon EC2 action to reboot the server if the alarm is invoked, right? So that's what we're going to be doing here today. So now let's go over here to our lab solution. Now, when we come over here, the first thing we always want to do is we want to start our lab because you never know, depending on the exercise, how long it takes AWS to spin up this environment, right? Now, when we play this actual game, it's going to take us into a simulated cloud environment. So you get to see what the AWS cloud actually looks like and how engineers, developers go in and create services that you use on a daily basis anytime that you open up your smartphone, pretty much, right? All right. Now, the next thing that you always look for within these labs, right, is if they have any associated lab files. Right here, I see that there's an associated lab file. I will go ahead and download this, right, and it goes to my download folder where I can grab it later. Okay, so I'll go ahead and open up that, and I have it right there, so I can close this out. All right, so now I'll go back over to where it says steps, and now I will open up my AWS console. Okay, so now let me open up the AWS console. All right, and now we're going into the cloud, right? It's like we're flying. Okay, so here we go. We got that and got that. Just click on all that stuff right there. All right, cool. So now, first step is review the practice lab's objective. I've kind of already walked you through that, right? So now, first thing we're going to do in the top navigation bar, search bar, type EC2. All right, we're going to look for the EC2 service, right, which is Elastic Cloud Compute, and these are our virtual servers in the cloud. Okay, so if you've recently visited them, you will find them here. If they're not there, then you just type in EC2 into the search bar, and then you can hit this star that will save it as favorites where you can open it up later for future reference. All right, so now we'll go in there, click on that. All right, so the concept is AWS provides both automated and manual tools that you can use to monitor your systems. All right, so here we will click on instances, right? That's step one, and then we will review the status checks. So we will click on instances, right? And then we will review the status check, which is right here. And our instances are initializing, meaning that they are spinning up, right? They're coming up, they're instantiating, okay? Now, in the left navigation pane, click on instances, the instance section under status check, review to ensure that the 3 instances show 2 of 2 checks pass, right? Wait for the statuses to change before proceeding and then go to the next step. The concept behind this is system status checks monitor the AWS system on which your instances run. These checks detect underlying problems with your instance that might require AWS involvement to repair, right? So just briefly, right, you have EC2 instances that are living in the cloud, right? But, you know, the cloud is really just like, just say a data center somewhere that AWS owns and operates. Sometimes there could be like internal hardware failures, right? And then this is what your status check will let you know, like, hey, something's going wrong with this particular instance. That way you can open up a trouble ticket with AWS support and then they can help you out, okay? So that's what that's for, right? All right, so now it still says initializing, but what we can do is refresh here, all right? And then kind of wait for that to come up, okay? So it still hasn't come up yet. But what we can do is we can go to the next step to kind of look ahead. So what it's asking us to do, it says, hey, server 1 right here. So we'll click on server 1. Let me see. Okay, so we got server 1 right there. We will click on server 1. Then we will go to the monitoring tab, right? And do nothing's there right now, but we're still waiting for our instance to come up. Okay, so now they passed. Now we go to server 1, then we go to the monitoring tab. All right. Okay, monitoring tab, and then we click on, review CPU utilization. All right, so the concept behind this, right? You can use the AWS Management Console or the CLI, the AWS CLI command line interface, or the API, application programmable interface, to list the metrics that Amazon Elastic Cloud Compute sends to Amazon Cloudwatch, right? So there you go. So let's click on that. All right, let's go back to monitoring, make sure we can see this. All right, so I'm gonna go off camera just to make sure you guys can see my entire screen. So now let me go ahead and do that. All right, cool. All right, and then let me bring this guy up just a tad. Okay, so here we have the CPU utilization, okay? And this is like the utilization tab. So it says review this, right? So now we're in review mode. Okay, got it. All right, so now let's go to the next step. And then we want to review the same thing for these other instances. So now we can just make sure always that you uncheck a box. You only can really look at one at a time, okay? So just make sure you see that. We saw the first one was at 97%. This one's at like 54. All right, and then we come here to server 3. Monitoring here, and we see this one's at like 75 OS. Outstanding. All right, cool. All right, then we clear and then repeat. All right, and the concept behind this, by default, basic monitoring is enabled so that data is available in 5-minute periods. You can optionally enable detailed monitoring so that the data is available in 1-minute periods, right? You can make that adjustment. Lab files, download those. We've already done that. All right, cool. So now it's time to inspect our lab files, right? So I'm gonna bring this on screen and then I'm gonna see if you all can see it. Let me see if I can move it over. Yep. All right, cool. Yes, you can. All right, now this right here is just kind of downloaded some JSON. Let me just close out these boxes. Downloaded some JSON format right here. Okay, and this is our Cloudwatch JSON document. So this is what it should look like. And I have this, just defaulted in Microsoft VS Code, right? So if it opens in a text document, don't worry about it, right? As long as you have that document right there, everything will be okay. Okay. So now, all right, so review this. So we want to review what we want to review here. So open the Amazon Cloudwatch JSON in the web browser or in a text editor of your choice. Review the namespace and custom metrics. All right, so we see namespace is power plan metric. See right there where it says namespace, okay? So it says review the namespace and then the custom metrics, okay? So then we come down and then we see the custom metric. I'm trying to look for it so I can point it out to you. I don't really see it. I see the namespace here. Okay, so right, but just know that's what you're looking for, right? So you're seeing, hey, this is the namespace right here, okay? And okay, and then the name, the custom metric is CPU usage idle, right? CPU usage idle right there. So when we come in, we grab our document, right? So we're looking for the namespace, which is power plant metrics right here, all right? And then the name, which is CPU usage idle, okay? Just like we saw it on the page over there. So let me close this guy out. All right, now we want to open up another tab, right? We want to open up Cloudwatch. So now we can come back here, come over here and just type in Cloudwatch. All right, then we can save it for future reference right there. And then we could just open up the Cloudwatch tab, right? So now we're inside of the Cloudwatch service here. Go to the next step. All right, so then inside of Cloudwatch, we want to click on the metrics drop down, right? And then we want to click on all metrics. So let's go ahead and do that. So we click on the metrics drop down here, all right? And then we go to where it says all metrics, okay? Got it? And then when we get to metrics, we're in the browse section right here. So then we're in the North Virginia, right, region, okay? And then we want to look at power plant metrics, all right? So we will type power plant metrics right there. What you can do is you can copy and paste it if it allows. Sometimes for my system, when I play this game, for some reason it doesn't allow me to copy and paste, right? So I just have to just do it that way. So I just power, then plant, and let me see how that was written. Metrics, right? So power plant and then metrics. All right, cool. There we go. So now we see, hey, 239 metrics have popped up for power plant. So we'll click on that, right? See the same thing right here, right? And now we have all these metrics right here. Let me see if I can, yep, I'm pulling it up just a little bit. All right, cool. So now we can go to the next step. The concept behind this, right? A namespace is a container for Cloudwatch metrics. Metrics in different namespaces are isolated from each other so that metrics from different applications are not mistakenly aggregated into the same statistic, okay? So that's the whole purpose behind namespaces. All right, so within the power plant metrics search bar, right, type CPU and then press enter. So now we'll come over here in the, let me see. Okay, so where power plant metrics are, right? And then we'll come over here and then we'll type in CPU and then we'll press enter, okay? Got it. So now, all right, you can add a search filter to locate specific metric types. So that was the concept behind this. All right, so now we'll click the metric grouping, power plant metrics, right? Instance ID and then instance type. Click this one right here, okay? That's the path, power plant metrics and image ID, instance type. We'll click on that guy right there. All right, good. And then go to the next step. So it wants us to choose all of these, it looks like, at the same time. So now let me see. So in the search bar, okay, got it. In the search bar, type CPU usage idle. So look, for me, it doesn't copy and paste, but I have a cheat code. What I do is, you know, I just come to like a text editor or even something like Microsoft Word, right? So I come to Microsoft Word and for some reason it lets me copy and paste it off screen. So now let me see, Control V. Let me try to do that again. So CPU usage, Control C. Then I just come here. Oh, my bad. Edit anyway. Yep. Save. Got it. Yep. All right, cool. And then once I copy and paste it from here, now for some reason it just lets me copy and paste it here. I don't know what it is. It might just be like my computer. I don't know what it is. All right, got it. So now it's saying, hey, all right, CPU usage idle is the percentage of time that the CPU is idle, right? Choose the check boxes to select the three servers, server 1, server 2, server 3. Review the displayed graph. Go to the next step. So when you click on these right here, right? When you click on these, then you will see a graph pop up, right? So that's just like a measuring, you can measure that metric. So let's go ahead and do that. So I can just do that. All of them are checked. And now you see kind of the same stuff that you kind of saw on the other slide, right? All right, there we go. All right, cool. The concept is a metric represents a time-ordered set of data points that are published to Cloudwatch, right? So now, all right, the above graph, click the actions to expand the drop-down menu. That's over here in the top right, okay? Choose the add to dashboard improved, right? That's that first one. Then go to the next step. So we will come over here to actions, add to dashboard improved, and then we will click on that guy, okay? Now we'll go to the next step. All right, so now what we're doing is creating a dashboard, it looks like, right? So in the pop-up box for select a dashboard, click create new, then go to the next step. So you see right here, create new, then go to the next step. All right, so now we're gonna call this our power plant dashboard, okay? So now let me come over here, copy and paste that guy, copy and paste him, bring him back over here. All right, so we're gonna call this our power plant dashboard, okay? Now go to the next step and then click create. So let's click create. So now we've just created our power plant dashboard, all right? To create the new dashboard, click create, go to the next step. All right, so inside the power plant dashboard, right, we can choose like how we want this information to be displayed, right? So I see here we have bar. So instead of line, like these lines right here, right, we want it to be displayed within a bar type of format. So now we have the bars right here and it can display our information, right? All right, and then let me see, servers, idle, CPU, like customized widget title. So now we're gonna make a title for our widget, right? So let me go ahead and copy and paste that guy, bring him over here, then copy and paste him, and then make a title, right? So customize the widget. Let me make sure that's, yep, server idle CPU usage, there we go. And that's what's gonna be the name of our actual widget, right, for our dashboard. Okay, let's go. And then click add dashboard. Add to dashboard, sorry. All right, bam. So this is the name in the server idle CPU usage. So now we can view that within Cloudwatch, right? Okay, cool. All right, so now for the display widget, drag the bottom right corner to change the display size and review the graph. So here, we're just dragging those three little lines right there and review. So we come here, right? We can drag it, make it look how we want to look, right? Just for the visualization, okay? All right, note the server with the highest CPU usage, right? So note the server with the highest CPU usage. So that looks like it is server 2. You see it's highlighted right here. If I came over here, this would be server 3. So this is server 2 and it has the highest CPU usage, okay? All right, the server with the highest CPU usage has the lowest idle CPU usage. To save the widget, click save, go to the next step. All right, so we'll come over there, click save. Auto save is off. You can enable it just for this session so that it automatically changes and saves automatically. Okay, gotcha. All right, so now let's go to the next step. And then this is just a piece of important information to know. All dashboards are global. They are not region specific. So they are globally throughout your entire account, okay? All right, so now within Cloudwatch, now we're gonna go to alarms, right? So you see we have alarms, the drop down for alarms, and click on all alarms, and then we're going to create an alarm, okay? So come back here to the hamburger sign. I don't know why it's called that, it just is. All right, so now we click on alarms, and then we click on all alarms, right? And then we go to create an alarm right here, okay? All right, so then we're gonna go to select metric, okay? So then we'll select our metric here, go to the next step. All right, so now on this, on the browse tab in the metric search box, right? So now we'll go ahead and we're gonna copy and paste this. So I got this already. Let me go ahead and copy that guy. All right, so now select metric. We're going to use this. Where's the search? I don't see the search right here. All right, cool. Press enter. All right. Now we're bringing up that. Then we're going to go back to the power plant image instance ID. Press enter. Click on that grouping again. All right, and then go to the next step. So we'll click on this grouping. Now we got server 1, server 2, and server 3 once again. All right, so now we're going to choose server 1 and then select metric. Okay, so we'll go to server 1. All right, then we'll go to select metric. Okay. All right, the concept behind this, right, is a metric alarm watches a single Cloudwatch metric or the result of a math expression based on the Cloudwatch metrics. You have to create an alarm for each system. All right, so don't forget that, okay? All right, cool. So we'll come here. What happened here? So let me go back one. I clicked on that and then these servers are supposed to pop up. So click on that. Let me see. Let me go back here. Let's go back to where I was supposed to be. So all alarms, right? Then we went to create alarm. Then we went to select metric. Then we went to CPU idle usage. And then we came here. And now we have to click on server 1. All right, there we go. And then we click on select metric. All right, then that brought us to the table that we were currently at. Okay, gotcha. So now let's go ahead here. Then we come here, we scroll down to this page. So what we want to do is for the threshold type, we want to choose static. For define the alarm condition, choose lower equal, right, threshold. And for define the specific threshold type, we want to type in the number 20, okay? So when we come down here, we got a static right here. We got lower equal threshold, and then we come here, we type in the number 20. Let me come back over here to the other screen and verify, yes, yes. Okay, there we go, and then we click next, okay? All right, so now, all right, so in the configure action step for alarm state trigger, choose the alarm, right? In alarm, then we want to go to create new topic, right? For send a notification in the following SNS topic, choose create new topic. Step 3, for create a new topic, type high CPU usage. Okay, so we want to create a topic for high CPU usage. Let me just copy and paste this guy over there. Man, copy and pasting, man. Somebody need to come teach Uncle Trey how to properly copy and paste. All right, cool. There we go. And then we'll just take that, bam. All right, cool. So now in alarm, create new topic, high CPU usage, and then we'll come back. All right, that's 2 minutes. So in alarm, create new topic. The new topic that we want to create is high CPU usage, okay? And then email endpoints that receive notification. List each address. So now let's see what it says. For email endpoints that receive notification, type an email address to which you have access to. All right. So what I'll do is I'll just type in, let's just choose one of these. Uncle Trey. That's not right. It's supposed to be Uncle Trey TX. All right. Nope. Let's just go back over here. So Uncle Trey tx@gmail.com. Yeah, I got access to that. All right, cool. So then we scroll down to the bottom, to the very bottom, okay? So the concept behind this is Amazon Simple Notification Service is a managed service that provides message delivery from publishers to subscribers, right? Just like how, you know, you have email lists and then you click on subscribe and it'll keep sending you email lists, or you click on unsubscribe like, hey, I'm tired of seeing all this commercials from Wayfair or whatever you got going on, okay? All right, here we go. Let's go to the next one. All right, so when we scroll down, we'll click create topic. Okay, click create topic underneath that, yes. So come back, yep, and then click create topic here. All right, cool. and then it's going to send it to that specific email. It looks like we can view it in the SNS console. Okay. Check your email. Oh, we got to check our emails here. I wasn't prepared for this. I never practice any of these videos. I just do them, right? So now, let's go ahead and see if the email actually came. All right. So look, when it tells you to check your email, right, make sure you check your spam folder, because that's what happened to me. I had to log in and then also check my spam folder, okay, and there it was. But when you subscribe to the topic, right, it's going to send you an email, and then it's going to say subscribe, okay, and then you should see a notification that pops up, right, and it looks a little something like this. Let me see if you can see. Yep. Okay. So that's what you're looking for, right? To come to your email. And that just lets you know, like, hey, you have subscribed to an SNS topic, okay? Let's continue on. Back on the console page, scroll down to the bottom of the page and then click next, right? All right, and then the concept behind this, right, is publishers communicate asynchronously, right, with subscribers by sending messages to a topic, which is a logical access point and communication channel. Hey, listen, don't worry about all that. Just know, right, if you subscribe, you're going to receive messages. Why they make it so complicated? I just don't want to get it. All right, cool. So let's go. All right, so now, in the add name and description step for your alarm name, type high CPU usage, right? Let me go back here one step. Create topic, we did that. Scroll down. In the add name and description, right, type high CPU usage. So scroll down, go to the next. Add name and description, we're going to type high CPU usage, right? That's what we're doing here. All right, and then click next. Okay, cool. So we'll go down here, click next right there. Outstanding. All right, cool. And then now we want to review, right? So it says preview and create. So we want to review. We got the power plant metrics, CPU usage idle, right? The instance ID. Then we want to scroll down. So now we can see this. So now we see the same thing here, right? Power plant metrics, CPU usage idle, instance ID, then we're scrolling down, okay? When we scroll down, successfully created. So I didn't see where it says to scroll down and then click create, so we'll just create alarm right here. So I didn't see where it says create alarm, but it's right here. So you just say create alarm. All right, and there you have it. All right, cool. Then we go to the next tab here, successfully created alarm high CPU usage, right? So whenever you see these tabs, okay, green means good to go. Red obviously means you did something wrong. And blue is just informational, okay? Blue is informational. All right, cool. So right now it says it has insufficient data, okay? So now in this success alert, review the message. We see successfully created alarm high CPU usage. In the alarm section under state, right? Review to see that the alarm state changes from insufficient data to in alarm, right? Then check your email. So what we're going to do is we have to come here, right? Then we have to kind of wait for the state to change. So that's what happens, right? You know, some of these resources take a couple seconds to a couple minutes to actually come online, right? So what we're doing right now is we're waiting for the state of this to change, right? And then whenever you're talking about like AWS services, right, you have what's called a state. A state lets you know what's going on at any given time, right? And it also is very helpful when it comes to troubleshooting, because like if you read the documentation, right, you have a state right here that says insufficient data. Then the next state will be in alarm. But let's say that it got stuck in this state of insufficient data. You can actually look that up in the AWS documentation and it'll tell you, hey, if your Cloudwatch alarm is stuck in the state of insufficient data, then this is what you did wrong, so on and so forth, right? So that's just let you know a little bit about states, okay? Because you'll see them in different services that you use. So now you see that our state actually says, now it says in alarm, okay? So that's good news for us. Then it also says check emails, right? So I'll go back here to my handy dandy iPhone, right? If you don't have an iPhone, something's wrong. And now I see like, hey, I just received a message. Make sure there's no pertinent data here. All right, and then this is the message that I just received. You can see it a little bit, but basically it's saying like, hey, high usage alarm. So this is what I said like in the beginning of the video, right? Where it's like, hey, I'm someone who works for, a cloud provider, or I'm someone who works on a team, and it's like, oh, shoot, I just received this alarm. This is high CPU usage, right? In the North Virginia region. Okay, I know I have this instance or this asset that is in this region. Okay, I need to go try to fix it or log in and do whatever. So that's the whole purpose of like these Cloudwatch alarms, right? Very cool. All right, very cool. All right, so now we reviewed it. We checked our email. The concept behind this, right? In a state of insufficient data means that an alarm has just started. The metric is not available, or not enough data is available for the metric to determine the alarm state. All right, so now we've transitioned from that state of insufficient data to now in alarm. Okay, that's what it's saying right there. All right, and then congratulations. Hey, now we have completed the step-by-step guided portion of our exercise, and now we're going to go to the DIY, which is to do it yourself. We got to do this ourselves now. Okay, so for the DIY activity, okay, it's saying, hey, add a Cloudwatch dashboard for memory utilization, mem used, right? Then we will create a Cloudwatch alarm for memory utilization, mem used over 500 million. Then we will add an Amazon EC2 action to reboot the server if the alarm is invoked. That's a lot. I got it. So first thing we're going to do is add a Cloudwatch dashboard for memory utilization, mem used. So now we'll come back to our Cloudwatch service here, right? So now for our DIY activities, okay, add a Cloudwatch dashboard for memory utilization. Add a Cloudwatch dashboard for memory utilization, mem used. Create a Cloudwatch alarm for memory utilization over 500 million. Add an Amazon EC2 action to reboot the server if the alarm is invoked. Okay, I think I got it. Let me see. So we want to create. All right, so let's come to dashboards, right? And it says, let me see. Add a Cloudwatch dashboard for memory utilization, mem used. So now let's create a dashboard, right? M underscore used. Is that what it says? Let me see. Yep, mem used. All right, so we will create a dashboard just like this, right? The last time we used bar, so we'll use bar again. Outstanding. All right, cool. So now we have created a dashboard. So now what? So now create a Cloudwatch alarm for memory utilization over 500 million. So we created this dashboard. Your Cloudwatch graph is empty. Do I need another graph? I don't think so. But we'll just say here, like, okay. And then we'll create this wizard. Since this is a new dashboard, right? Then we'll save this. Yep, we'll just save it. All right, cool. So now this is our mem used dashboard. I don't think that was necessary, but got it. So now let's go to our alarms. So now it's saying, okay, create a Cloudwatch alarm for memory utilization, mem used. Create an alarm. Okay. And then over 500 million. So what we'll do is we will create an alarm, select metric here, power plant metric, and we'll go to right. So let's create, I'll just continue to do this. I don't think this is necessary, but I'll just do it anyway. All right, so we're selecting a metric here, and all functions. Let me see something. Metrics, metric count. Let me see. Create for memory utilization, memory use over 500 million. Okay. So let me see something. All right, so we have that now. So now let me see. For mem used, do they have a mem used here? I saw mem used. Nah, that ain't it. Select graph. Then last time, let me see, we use, okay, CPU. And then let me come here. Metric name, I don't have, so we're not using that this time. Let me see if I got mem underscore used. Okay, metric name is mem used. Select metric. All right, so now we're coming to static and then greater. Let me see. Create a Cloudwatch alarm for memory utilization over 500 mil. All right, so let me type in this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right, cool. Then let me go next. And then in alarm, create new, select an existing topic. No, I'll create a new topic. This is mem used topic. Mem used alarm. All right, mem used alarm. Come back here. What is that? Uncle Trey. TX. Right there. Uncle Trey TX. Uncle Trey TX at gmail.com. All right, good. And then it says, hey, create topic. The alarm name, just call this mem used react. And so I have an alarm. So create an alarm. All right, and now that alarm has insufficient data. So now we're waiting on that alarm to create. All right. So let me see something here. View. Here. There was a place. Let me see. Dashboards. Oh, got it. So now let me see something. So mem used. All right, now hold up. Did that. Add an EC2 action to reboot the server if the alarm is invoked. I'm gonna have to do that probably when it's done. We're still waiting on in alarm. Okay, got it. Now mem use state is okay. How come this did not go to, I want to see, edit, statistic, static, threat data, treat data is missing. Alarm state, define the state. Define threshold. Added Cloudwatch. Ugh. Man, I've already done this. Group, select the group. I've already done this, man. That's what I'm saying, like. All right, so now we come here. Any state, in alarm. It's not any state, any type, composite alarm, metric alarm, any actions. How do you do that, man? How do you do that? I don't see where it says, hey, do that as an action. Will you reboot an instance? Let's go back to this. Now I said create new dashboard. So to create the dashboard is mem used. These are the instances. Let me see. If I got this instance ID, it might tell me something or give me a clue. Provided does not have alarms configured, check that you choose the instance type. Check that you choose the instance, this instance, when you created the alarm. That's what I figured I was supposed to do. Okay. Missing, enter this. Okay. So coming over here, right? When you create the alarm, this is what you're supposed to do. So I created the dashboard, right? Now I want to create an alarm. So when I come here and I created this alarm, let me delete this alarm. Okay. That alarm is deleted. Now let me create an alarm, and I have to make sure that that instance is there as well. So I'm gonna create an alarm, instance ID, instance type. I don't really think this matters. So I'm gonna create an alarm. Okay, got it. So I'm gonna use this, this, and this. So I got 3 instances here. All right, cool. Select a single metric to continue. So here, all right, now I'm gonna just select this instance here, and then I'm gonna select metric. Now, this reboot action, what am I gonna do about this? So greater than, and then 500 million, right? Yeah. So 500 million. And then it's like, how do I create that action? Right? So alarm state, this metric expression is outside of defined threshold. Select an existing topic. Mem usage. Okay. Add EC2 action. Oh, here we go. And then reboot the action. All right, cool. So we added an EC2 action, then we rebooted the action. Alarm state trigger in alarm. Right. Or in alarm. Yeah. Come here. Then we'll do this. Mem usage. Okay. That's our alarm name and description. Then we'll come here. That's 500 M's. Okay. So now we'll create an alarm. And while we do that, so now where is, this is the instance ID that is associated with this alarm, okay? So now when we come over here and we copy and paste it in, let's validate and see what happens. For the instance, but it is not a memory usage mem alarm. Check the metrics that you used and try again. All right, got it. So we did that for the correct instance, but we didn't do it correctly. All right. So let's read this again. All right, so you created an alarm for the instance, but it is not a memory usage mem used alarm. Check the metric that you used and try again. So it's all about the metric. So now let me come over here and then I'll go back and delete this. All right, then we'll come and create select metric. Okay. So it says select metric. So hold up now. But it's not a memory usage mem used alarm. Check the metric that you used and try again. So now it says, hey, select metric here. So mem used alarm. Let me see. Mem used. Okay, mem used. So now we have here, and then we come here. Now we'll choose this one right here. All right, mem used. And we will select this metric. All right, and then this is our instance ID. Let me go ahead and copy that. All right, and then static, and then greater than, then we'll do 500 million, 1, 2, yep, 1, 2, 3, yep, 1, 2, 3, got it. All right, cool, and then we'll hit next right here, and then we got in alarm, and then we got create new topic. This will be mem used run. I'll just say mem used run. We'll select one of these email addresses. We'll create the topic. Then we need to add an EC2 action here. And the EC2 action, it will reboot when in alarm state. And then the alarm name will be, let's say, SAA underscore mon. All right, good. All right, cool. So then we come down here and then we create our alarm. So now we should be good to go now, right? So let me just copy and paste this instance ID, same one, look like, and then let me validate. All right, cool. You created an alarm that reboots the instance when the memory blows. Now return to the city and give the customer the good news, right? All right, cool. So now let's go ahead and exit. So we'll come back to the customer. You did it, choose a reward. I like this one. This one looks pretty nice. All right, cool. Yeah. All right. So, hey, we did it. Like, we solved our solution. So I hope that, let me go ahead and bring this back up real quick. Hey, all right, so we did it, right? We solved our solution, right? We created the Cloudwatch alarm and rebooted the instance if it exceeds the memory threshold. I hope everyone got something out of this today, all right? Once again, go ahead and click like on the video. Hey, so as you see, we did it, right? We solved the solution. You know, we created the Cloudwatch alarm in case that the memory threshold was exceeded, right? It would reboot the instance, right? So that we did the objective and we solved the problem for our customer, right? So I hope everyone got something out of the video, all right? If you could do me a huge favor, go ahead and click like, right? Subscribe, get the message out to the people. We're trying to get up to like 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. All right, so you can do us a huge favor and help us out. You know, share the video on your Facebook, your LinkedIn, whatever, and say, hey, you know, this course has really helped me in some shape, form, or fashion. That would be all appreciated. Until next time, it is I says me, Cisco Soldier, aka Uncle Trey. See y'all in the next video.